Hello, friends. So now we are good to go with the next chapter that will be the provisions regarding input tax credit. It's going to be a big session, as in the time limit that time will probably take will be around 3 to 4 hours for completing this entire chapter. There are a lot many things that we'll be obviously discussing in detail on this input tax credit, and conceptual discussion will be on a very high note, high scale. So yes, the only thing that will be required is a very concentrated effort from your end as well as from my end. So on the lines of this, let's start discussing the provisions of input tax credit under the GST laws. Now I can also actually call this input tax credit as one of the very basics, or you can say a fundamental pillar of the entire GST law. Now, I'm calling it as a fundamental of GST law because the entire system hovers around this concept of input tax credit. Now, if I want to really get into the chapter per se, so what is input tax credit if I want to understand? Okay. So, input tax credit is nothing but the credit of taxes which are paid while purchasing goods and services which are required for my business, which will be used or which are intended to be used in the course or furtherance of my business. So my perspective of input tax credit will always be limited to, and although it will not be only with respect to, but my input tax credit perspective will be that whichever goods and services have been procured for my business, which I will be using or I intend to use it for the furtherance of business, that is something which is going to be considered as eligible input tax credit for my business, and something which is not considered as a blocked credit under the GST laws. Now, friends, I believe that in your CS executive level, you have had a fair idea, or in CA intermediate level, there is a fair idea that is given by introducing this concept of input tax credit. But then, when you are going to understand it in your final levels, it is very much important for us to understand as to what exactly this input tax credit is in terms of the accounting impact of these transactions on your books of accounts. Now, why? Because see, we all are we hail from the commerce background, and then accounts being one of the very basic subject, a fundamental subject, it is one very easy to understand from the accounting perspective. Second, it is also important to understand the financial impact of these input tax credits and their usage in your business. And therefore, it will be my earnest request to all of you that whenever you're going to study this chapter, I'm not saying that okay, the accounting entries, whatever we write or whatever we discuss, is going to be a part and parcel of your examination. But then the only understanding is that once these accounting concepts are also discussed in depth along with the subject matter of discussion, it will be really like of a complete kind of a discussion that you're going to have, which will give a very you know justified impact to your discussion in this entire input tax credit. Now primarily, if somebody asks me what input tax credit really is, so it is like the prepaid tax. It is the prepaid tax for the business. It is the prepaid tax for the business. Okay. Now when I say prepaid tax for the business means when I am procuring something, that tax which goes to the credit of the government in advance. Now, when I say why in advance, because that tax which is going to the credit of government, that amount which is going to the credit of government, which is paid by me while buying goods or services in my business, will be utilized to pay my outward tax liabilities when I'm going to sell any goods, or when I'm going to provide any kind of a services from my business. So this input tax credit is nothing but a prepaid tax for my business, and therefore from the prepaid tax for my business, and therefore for us, for any business, it is going to be a part of the balance sheet's asset side as a prepaid tax, as a taxes paid in advance by whatever name called. Now what is this mechanism entirely hovering upon? ये इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट किस चीज के ऊपर निर्भर है, क्या सब चीज के ऊपर एक्चुअली चल रहा है, ये डिस्कशन हम लोग को करना. So what we need to understand is that this input tax credit concept, it hovers around one very important concept of what we can call as a tax on value addition. tax on value addition. That means the basics or the fundamentals of GST, जैसे अभी हम लोग बोलते हैं GST में one nation one tax है, then what is the very advantageous scenario, I mean advantageous factor of the GST law? So it says that okay, it's a value addition based tax. This is a tax which is levied on the value additions. A value added tax will always be something which will be giving you the edge, which will be giving you the edge in terms of reducing your prices, ultimate consumer prices, because what you do is not charge tax on each and every level of a product cycle, of a service product cycle or a goods product cycle, as the case may be, but ultimately the government intends to collect only the tax to the extent the value creation exists in a product. So our purpose in input tax credit is very clear, that input tax credit क्यों देने का है, that whatever taxes, because a product is going to spread across many cycles. Now let's say in case of goods, it will start originating from a manufacturer's end, manufacturer to, it will go to the wholesaler, then to the distributor, to the sub distributor, to the retailer, and ultimately to the consumer. So all the while when there is going to be a profit addition, there is going to be a value addition, and if the tax is always charged on the full value, then it will be obviously amounting to double taxation, और जिसको हम लोग taxes में cascading effect ऐसे नाम से जानते हैं. ये कैस्केडिंग इफेक्ट को अवॉइड करने के लिए क्या मैकेनिज्म हो सकता है, दैट टैक्स इफ इट इज लेविड ऑन द आउटपुट, then the tax to the extent it was levied on the input should be reduced from it. So ultimately you end up paying tax only to the extent of value addition that you are creating. So at each and every stage, if the tax is paid only to the extent of value creation or value addition that is done, then ultimately what will happen is that the tax what you pay at the end of it will be limited to only the value in totality that is added to the product, and it will not be going in terms of, I mean, it will not be considered to be a tax on each and every stage on the full value. Otherwise, it will be going on a having a cumulative impact. Now, what I am going to do is that I'll be showing you a predefined, predefined example which I have created for explaining what this input tax credit is all about. Okay. So, हम नोट्स में ही मैं आपको लेके आता हूँ. अभी हमारे नोट्स में एक एक्स्ट्रा part है, extra part which is there for reading your additional reading material. Additional reading material is made for that purpose. We are going to now refer and discuss this particular aspect of input tax credit. Okay. Now I hope that you're able to particularly see a table where I'm trying to show that there is a input tax credit and there's a chart of pricing when the input tax credit is not available. Okay, there is a chart and pricing in which the input tax credit is not available. Now if I see this chart where it is showing that the input tax credit is not available, okay, input tax credit is not available, मैं क्यों ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ ना, अगर आप देखते हो यहाँ पे there is a manufacturer, wholesaler, distributor, retailer, and the consumer. Now we are assuming that the manufacturer has started producing this, manufacturing this goods. 1,000 rupees is his production cost. Purchase cost is 1,000 because I don't have any input tax. 20% is the profit addition that he is willing to do on his production cost. And output tax will be taken at 12% on the selling price, that is 144 rupees. That is the invoice price comes to rupees 1,344. Now, as against that, the wholesaler has an input tax of 144 rupees. कैसे? तो manufacturer उसको 1200 plus 144 ऐसे करके invoice देगा. Wholesaler has the input tax of 144. Cost of production is 1,200, and therefore the total purchase cost comes to rupees 1,344 rupees. Profit value addition again on 269. Then the selling price comes to 11613 and the invoice price is 1806. Now friends, if you can actually see over here, the product is reaching the consumer for rupees 3,263 rupees. Now, can you observe that there are a few areas of problem which is appearing over here? Now, see what is the problem area over here. There is an output tax over here. Okay, there is an output tax over here of 144 rupees. That output tax has become a part of my purchase cost. Then there is a output tax of 194 rupees over here. Again, that is becoming a part of my purchase cost. Then there's output tax of 260 rupees, which is a purchase cost. again an output tax of 350 rupees. Again, in the consumer's hand, it is therefore as a part of my purchase cost. And therefore, I can very clearly see that taxes are being levied at each and every stage. Taxes are being levied at each and every stage. And as a result of that, the consumer is feeling the heat of it or the burden of it, because he is ending up paying tax on a basis of a cascading effect or on a compounded basis of taxation, which should have ideally not been there on this product. Now we'll see a scenario where input tax credit is available. Where input tax credit is available means exactly what? That at every stage we will ensure that the tax paid by a person is only restricted to the value addition that he does in the product. We'll see now how it works. What is the value addition done by the manufacturer of this product? It is 1000 rupees plus 200 profit. So total value addition that is done by the person is going to be considered as this 1200 rupees. What is the tax on value added in this case? 144 rupees. So 144 rupees is the tax on the value added of 1200. वो यहाँ पे भी same है, वो यहाँ पे भी same ही है. So यहाँ तक कोई difference नहीं. Now we'll see the second level. Input tax credit. Now tax which was charged on the output by the manufacturer is becoming an input tax credit for the wholesaler. So wholesaler का production cost is 1200. It is not in fact 1200 plus 144 as in this particular case it was. यहाँ पे देखो production cost plus purchase cost कितना हो रहा है? 1344, because the purchase price is also including the input tax there. So that is a problem. So I have a purchase price of 1200 and I have an input tax credit of 144 rupees. Now प्रॉफिट अज्यूम्ड ऑन सेम टर्म्स, जितना प्रीवियस एग्जांपल में लिया उतने में यहाँ पे 269 रुपीज का प्रॉफिट पकड़ता हूँ. सेलिंग प्राइस इज 1469 एंड टैक्स ऑन द सेलिंग प्राइस इज 176 रुपीज. ओके, नाउ टेल मी व्हाट वाज द टैक्स इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस. यहाँ पे सेम प्रॉफिट मार्जिन के साथ हमारा टैक्स था 194 रुपीज. नाउ व्हाई डू यू थिंक दिस डिफरेंस इज देयर इन द टैक्स अमाउंट? प्रॉफिट अमाउंट इज सेम बट परचेज कॉस्ट इज डिफरेंट. परचेज कॉस्ट में मेरे केस में देयर इज नो element of tax which is being considered. There is no element of tax which is being considered, unlike in the previous scenario. In the previous scenario हम लोग टैक्स को भी उसके उसमें ऐड कर रहे थे, वैल्यू में ऐड कर रहे थे. सो हमारा टैक्स ऑन आउटपुट वाज इंक्रीजिंग. इट वाज 194 एज अगेंस्ट 176. आर यू गेटिंग दिस डिफरेंस? यहाँ पे 194, यहाँ पे 176. ओके, now if I go from from this to the next level, then I see that input tax credit over here is 176 rupees. Whereas in this case, there was an input tax which had become a part of cost. So my purchase cost at this end is 1469, whereas my purchase cost at same end was 1613. So अगर मैं ये cumulative calculation करना चालू करूँ, then what happens is that my price over here, it goes from this level, it goes in the hands of consumer. अभी यहाँ पे I think there is one slight mistake, but table, because it is in not an editable form, it is not getting edited. So this value should be 2316 plus the GST. I'm sorry, 2316 that I'm going to charge. Cost in the hands of consumer. 25 just a minute. Yeah, so this should have been 2594, not 2316. Okay, 2326 नहीं होना चाहिए था, 16 नहीं होना चाहिए था. कॉस्ट टू द कंज्यूमर इज 2594. नॉनदलेस यहाँ पे अगर अब देखोगे, यहाँ पे अपना प्राइस टू कंज्यूमर क्या हो रहा था? 3263, whereas over here it is 2594. Now friends, do you realize that why there is a difference? When चारों लेवल पे मैंने जो प्रॉफिट कमाना था, मैन्युफैक्चरर, होलसेलर, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, रिटेलर, उनके प्रॉफिट में कुछ कमी आई है क्या? देखो, हैज देयर बीन एनी रिडक्शन इन द प्रॉफिट? नो, देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो रिडक्शन in the profit. But then why there is a difference in the consumer price that we are able to see? Because as you can observe that in the case when input tax credit was not available, we were not able to claim input tax credit in that case, and therefore मेरा हर purchase के ऊपर भरा हुआ tax की amount was becoming a part of my cost. And as a reason of that, मेरा selling price to the consumer was 3,263 as against it is 2,594 in the case where I am having a input tax credit available. So the entire scenario around the input tax credit is going to go about in the same manner that input tax credit, wherever it is eligible, your pricing will always be regulated. Although it will not cause any impact on your profitability to the business, कुछ भी नहीं होगा उसमें, कोई आपको हाथ नहीं लगाएगा. But as much as you can say that input tax credit में profit में भले ही फर्क difference नहीं हो, but then it will definitely cause a hardship to the consumer because taxes charged at each and every case will be different as compared to the tax charge in that case. So that is what we need to understand over here, that wherever there is a difference in the input tax credit which is available and where there is a scenario where the input tax credit is not available, we are going to have definitely the different pricing mechanism, and basis that the values are going to be different. So now this entire difference that we are trying to understand is on the basis of one single concept of input tax credit. So अभी हम लोग उसके बारे में थोड़ा डिटेल में जानना चालू कर देते हैं.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now friends, what we going to do is that थोड़ा सा मैं आपको बचपन में लेके जाऊंगा. बचपन में मतलब not very बचपन में, but थोड़ा सा down the memory lane approximately by say 2 to 3 years or 4 to 5 years probably, that we are going to do something wonderful now, that we are going to write accounting entries. We're going to pass some accounting entries. Okay, now purpose. Why accounting entry? Why are we getting into this stuff of writing accounting entries? Purpose is very clear. I want you to understand this concept of input tax credit, but like I said in the beginning, that from the accounting entry perspective, I want you to be very, very clear as regards to what is exactly happening, because now there are going to be some terminologies in the entire chapter of input tax credit, जैसे input tax credit availment, input tax credit utilization, reversal of input tax credit, re-availment of input tax credit. And when I use these words, when I use these terminologies, I don't want you to sit with blank mind that okay, exactly what is happening when he is saying that okay, there is an availment, there is a utilization, there is a addition in liability by way of reversal. Exactly ये सब क्या होता है, ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है. That is the reason why we are going to now do this analysis, do this adjustments first by understanding it from the accounting point of view. उसके बाद हम लोग normal जैसे पढ़ते हैं वैसे ही पढ़ने वाले. So write down a question that I'm giving to you. A Limited is engaged in the business of manufacturing goods. The company gives the company gives following details for the tax period July 2000 July 2020. Now, what are the details that they are giving? First, sales made of rupees sales made of rupees sales made of rupees 30 lakh sales made of rupees 30 lakhs. Okay, so I'm using this. No, not useful. Okay. Sales made of 30 lakhs. GST on sales, GST on sales is at the rate of 18%. GST has the rate of 18%. Now, next, purchase of purchase of goods, purchase of goods, that is raw material, that is raw material, is equal to rupees 5 lakhs, beg your pardon, is equal to rupees 15 lakhs, is equal to rupees 15 lakhs, and input GST, sorry, and the GST at the rate of 12%, 12%. Third, purchase of services, purchase of services is equal to rupees 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs, and input GST at the rate of 18%. Okay. Now, raw material, raw material of rupees 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs was returned, was returned owing to defects for which supplier has issued, supplier has issued a credit note. So now, what is the question then? You are required to pass, you are required to pass necessary journal entry, necessary journal entry. Okay. Now, in this, let's add one more thing, one more point. Out of returned goods, out of returned goods, comma, goods worth rupees 1 lakh were retaken, retaken, and debit note issued, debit note issued by the supplier subsequently. ठीक. So हम लोग अभी जर्नल एंट्रीज पास करते हैं. नाउ ये किसके बुक्स में चल रहा है? ये सब ए लिमिटेड के. ओके, सो वी आर गोइंग टू से पास नेसेसरी जर्नल एंट्रीज इन द बुक्स ऑफ ए लिमिटेड, राइट? सो क्या लिखेंगे इधर? जस्ट मेक दिस फॉन्ट साइज अ बिट स्मॉलर. इसको थोड़ा थिन कर देते हैं. लेट्स चेंज द कलर फॉर वैरायटी and we start. So in the books of, in the books of A Limited, journal entry, journal entry, serial number, particulars. अभी obviously not like a LF ledger folio and all, so यहाँ पे भी date होना चाहिए, date not serial number. I'll just change this, date, date, particulars, date, particulars, debit rupees, credit rupees, debit, credit. Let's close this now. I mean, let's start this. Okay. First one. Now there is an entry for purchase of this purchase of raw material. पहले entry लिखेंगे, logically भी पहले purchase ही आएगा. So the first entry that we are writing over here is first one, purchases account debit. Purchases account debit. Okay, what is the value? 15 lakhs, correct? Purchase account debit 15 lakhs. Input GST account, input GST account debit. Now on 15 lakhs there is a GST charge of 12%. Okay, on 15 lakhs there is a GST charge of 12%. So that is 1,80,000. 1,80,000. Two, suppliers account, to suppliers account 16,80,000. To suppliers account 16,80,000. Next. Now what narration we are going to write over here? Being क्या entry past, being purchase is made, being purchase made, and input tax credit availed. Input tax credit availed. What do you mean by availing of input tax credit? Means in my books of account I am recording that okay, along with the purchases I have taken some portion of input tax credit. Second entry, purchase, sorry, second entry is for service purchase हम लोग करेंगे. So service expense account debit, service expense account debit 5 lakhs, sorry, 5 lakhs, service expense account debit 5 lakhs. Input, sorry, input GST account debit, input GST account debit. Now we have taken it at 18%. Okay, we have taken it at 18%. So 90,000 to suppliers account, to suppliers account 5,90,000. Okay. Third. Now we have an entry for sales. We have an entry for sales because logically अभी हम लोग सेल कर सकते हैं because purchases कर चुके हैं. बट उसके पहले वो भी रिकॉर्ड कर लेते कि भाई मटेरियल रिटर्न गया, मटेरियल वापस आया. नाउ मटेरियल रिटर्न गया था कितने रुपए का? Purchase of services so and so. Raw material of rupees 2 lakhs was returned owing to the defects. Okay, so 2 लाख का मटेरियल हमने रिटर्न किया था. So suppliers account debit, suppliers account debit 2 lakhs का मटेरियल है एंड उसके ऊपर 12% का जीएसटी भी है. सो 2 लाख अभी उसना हम लोग उसको जीएसटी का पैसा कम देंगे. सो वी आर hitting the entire value including GST to his account to purchases account, to purchases account 20 sorry 2 lakhs एंड बाकी का पैसा कहां से आया था? टू इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट, इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट 24,000, to input GST account 24,000. Fourth one. Now there is some material that we reconsidered or retook in the business. So मैं वापस इस एंट्री को उल्टा कर देता हूँ. आई एम सो सॉरी, आई मेस्ड इट अप आई थिंक. या तो मैं वापस इस एंट्री को उल्टा कर देता हूँ. परचेसेस अकाउंट डेबिट, परचेसेस अकाउंट डेबिट 1 lakh, इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट डेबिट, input GST account debit 12,000 to suppliers account 1,12,000. So I did return some material बट उसमें से मैंने वापस कोई कुछ मटेरियल का पोर्शन रिकंसिडर कर लिया. नाउ देयर कम्स द इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ सेल्स एंट्री. सो डेटर्स अकाउंट डेबिट, अभी हम लोग ने जो सेल्स किया है, सो डेटर्स अकाउंट डेबिट, वो कितने का सेल किया है अपने एंट्री के हिसाब से? 30 lakhs का सेल एंड जीएसटी आउटपुट रेट इज 18%. सो 18% के हिसाब से जीएसटी कितना आएगा? 5,40,000 आएगा. सॉरी, 18% के हिसाब से जीएसटी कितना आएगा? 5,40,000 आएगा ना? यस, 18% के हिसाब से जीएसटी विल बी 5,40,000. सो इट विल बी 35,40,000 टू सेल्स अकाउंट, to sales account 30 lakhs, to output GST account 5,40,000, to output GST account 5,40,000. Okay, now before I proceed for the entry for tax payment, the main part कि हम लोग ये अकाउंटिंग एंट्री सब क्यों लिख रहे हैं वो चीज के बारे में डिस्कशन करते हैं. सो नाउ फ्रेंड्स अंडरस्टैंड कि our purpose of writing these accounting entries was very clear. मतलब एटलीस्ट मेरे दिमाग में वो क्लियर था. हमको ये आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि ये जब ट्रांजैक्शंस होते हैं तब बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स के ऊपर इम्पैक्ट क्या आता है. नाउ टेल मी वेयर does purchase account get record, I mean where does purchase account get posted? So this is going to go to your trading account डेबिट साइड. ये जाएगा मेरा ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट डेबिट साइड पे. ये जो इनपुट जीएसटी है इट इज अ टैक्स पेड ऑन परचेसेस. सो लाइक आई टोल्ड यू इट इज गोइंग टू बी लाइक अ प्रीपेड टैक्स. इट इज गोइंग टू बी लाइक अ प्रीपेड टैक्स. सो ये मेरे लिए क्या हो जाएगा? फॉर माई बिजनेस इट इज नथिंग बट करंट एसेट. फॉर माई बिजनेस इट इज नथिंग बट करंट एसेट. सप्लायर कौन है मेरे बिजनेस का? ये तो मेरा क्रेडिटर है. ये तो मेरा क्रेडिटर है, बराबर के नहीं ना. सर्विस एक्सपेंसेस के बारे में वापस जाएंगे तो दिस गोज टू माय प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट डेबिट साइड. Where does input GST go? It is also my current asset. It is also my current asset. Where is my supplier account going? It is going to be my creditors. My suppliers are going to be my creditors. So ये तो आइडेंटिफाई हो गए हेड्स. अभी ये एंट्री हमने सिर्फ रिवर्स किया है वो तो देखते हैं. What is this entry called as? What is this entry called as? That when I'm recording the input tax in my books, I am said to be availing input tax credit, availing input tax credit. Then there will be a question of reversal and reavailment and utilization. बट उसके साथ साथ हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं, इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट को भी हम लोग एज अ लेजर अकाउंट बनाएंगे तो उसमें मैं आपको वो अवेलमेंट रिवर्सल का मार्किंग करके देता हूँ. ओके, नाउ द नेक्स्ट सेट ऑफ एंट्रीज विल बी फॉर, next set of entries will be for utilization. Next set of entries is for utilization. So utilization का एंट्री मतलब क्या कि जो मेरे पास इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट अकाउंट में बैलेंस पड़ा हुआ है उसको मुझे यूटिलाइज करना है. So now first of all what is my liability towards the government? Now debtors account debit तो obviously debtor ही है. Sales goes on trading account credit side and this output tax is my current liability. This output tax is my current liability. So now what entry I am going to pass over here? What entry I am going to pass over here? ये जीएसटी का पैसा जो कलेक्ट किया वो तो गवर्नमेंट को भरना है. बट इसके पहले हमारे पास कुछ जीएसटी का पैसा आया हुआ है. तो इनपुट टैक्स रेट 1,80,000 है, 90,000 है, फिर 24,000 माइनस है एंड 12,000 प्लस है, मतलब नेट 12,000 माइनस है. ठीक है. सो आई विल से 1,80,000 प्लस 90,000 माइनस 24,000 प्लस 12,000. सो 2,58,000 तो मेरे पास बैलेंस है अपना इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट अकाउंट में बचा हुआ. वो नेट इंपैक्ट से आया है. लेजर अकाउंट में समझाता हूं कैसे आया. सो आई पास एन एंट्री नाउ आउटपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट डेबिट बिकॉज इट इज माय लायबिलिटी आई नीड टू पे टू द गवर्नमेंट. ये 5,40,000 मुझे गवर्नमेंट के खाते में जमा करने हैं. बट फॉर पेइंग दैट आई हैव सम प्रीपेड टैक्स, जो मेरे पास एसेट में अमाउंट है वो मेरा प्रीपेड टैक्स है, ये मैंने ऑलरेडी गवर्नमेंट को पहले भर दिया था. सो ओवर हियर आउटपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट अबाउट 5,40,000 टू इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट, to input GST account 2,58,000, 2,58,000 टू बैलेंस, पैसा तो जेब से भरना पड़ेगा, टू कैश और बैंक अकाउंट, टू कैश और बैंक अकाउंट. कितना बचा? 2,82,000. It will be very funny to say cash account to bank account. To directly we'll say to bank account 2,82,000. हो गया लाइबिलिटी भर के. ओके, अभी पहले हम लोग ये जो इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट है उसका लेजर अकाउंट बना देते हैं. इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट, and I'm going to help you identify these four broad words or terminologies which are used: with, availment, utilization, etc., etc. Okay, so यहाँ पे डेबिट रुपीस, क्रेडिट रुपीस. फर्स्ट, अभी इसमें इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट में सबसे पहले एंट्री कहाँ पे हिट हुई थी? जब हमने गुड्स खरीदा था. इनपुट परचेस अकाउंट डेबिट, इनपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट डेबिट टू सप्लायर्स अकाउंट. सो आई विल राइट एन एंट्री ओवर हियर टू सप्लायर्स, मतलब इधर मैं सिर्फ पोस्टिंग कर रहा हूँ भाई. टू सप्लायर्स अकाउंट, टू सप्लायर्स अकाउंट. कितना अमाउंट है? कितना अमाउंट है? 1,80,000. टू सप्लायर्स अकाउंट 1,80,000. करेक्ट. नाउ अगेन टू सप्लायर्स अकाउंट जिससे मैंने सर्विसेज खरीदी है उसका अकाउंट में टू सप्लायर्स अकाउंट 90,000. यहाँ पे जब मैंने वो रिवर्स वाला अमाउंट किया था क्रेडिट नोट मिलने के बाद, बाय सप्लायर्स अकाउंट, बाय सप्लायर्स अकाउंट 24,000, देन टू सप्लायर्स अकाउंट 12,000, एंड लास्ट में यूटिलाइजेशन का एंट्री था बाय आउटपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट, बाय आउटपुट जीएसटी अकाउंट 2 लाख. कितना था वो? $2,58,000. And I do not have any closing balance in this account for the month. I do not have any closing balance in the books as on the end of the month. 2,58,000 plus 24, 2,82,000. Okay, now let us first go on marking कि ये availment and all ये terminologies को हम लोग पहले इसमें से identify करना चालू कर देते हैं. So when I purchase goods, when I purchase services, मैंने क्या किया तो अपने बुक्स में ये इनपुट टैक्स को रिकॉर्ड किया. दिस एंट्री इज कॉल्ड एज, these two entries will be demarked as availment of input tax credit. I am recording this input tax credit, this taxes paid on purchase in my books of account. इसको बोलते हैं availment of input tax credit. Now क्या हुआ था, मैंने 2 लाख का मटेरियल वापस कर दिया. सो जो मटेरियल मैं वापस कर रहा हूं दैट मीन्स इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी यूज्ड फॉर माय बिजनेस. सो दैट amount of tax on that material can also be not used for my business. सो इसीलिए ये जो एंट्री पास किया बाय सप्लायर्स अकाउंट 24,000, दिस इज सम नथिंग बट दिस इज डिमार्किंग reversal of input tax credit. This is nothing but reversal of input tax credit. Then I took some material back into my business after reversing it earlier. इसको ये वाले एंट्री को बोला जाएगा रीअवेलमेंट ऑफ इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट. नाउ व्हाई रीअवेल? पहली बार किया था पूरा अवेलमेंट, फिर किया उसको रिवर्स. नाउ आई एम अगेन टेकिंग सम पोर्शन ऑफ इट, सो इट इज कॉल्ड एज रीअवेलमेंट. And by output GST, what is this called as? This is called as utilization of input tax credit. Now, when I say utilization, what does it signify actually? That when I'm saying utilization of input tax credit means I'm using that amount of input tax credit, I'm using that amount of prepaid tax to pay my output liability, to pay my outward liability. उस चीज के लिए जो मैं करता हूं उसको बोला जाता है यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट. सो अवेलमेंट, रिवर्सल, रीअवेलमेंट, यूटिलाइजेशन, ये चार टर्मिनोलॉजीज सिर्फ और सिर्फ यही हमारा मकसद था ये अकाउंटिंग एंट्रीज लिखने का. Understand, when I record the purchases in my books of accounts, if those goods and services are eligible for my business. अब ये eligible ineligible क्या है ये हमको तो अभी पढ़ना है. We are yet to study that. But for the while, just understand, if any fair credit, good credit stands in the books of account of mine, I will be recording him in the books of accounts. I will be considering, I'll calling it as a availment of input tax credit. If I don't use it, or if I'm not in the position to use those input tax credits for some reason, defection है, कुछ defects है, returns किए, material वापस दिया है, service cancel किया, कुछ भी है, so I am going to say that I will have to reverse a certain portion of input tax credit. If I have reconsidered a reversed credit earlier, मतलब कोई चीज जो मैंने पहले निकाल दिया था बिजनेस से, अभी उसको मैं वापस लेना चाहता हूँ, मतलब पहले आया, निकाला एंड वापस लिया, उसको बोलते हैं रीअवेलमेंट. अवेलमेंट के आगे का स्टेप रीअवेलमेंट. And when I finally have a net balance available with me, which is something which I can use to pay the government taxes, that is called as utilization of accounting, utilization of input tax credit, utilization of input tax credit. So friends, availment, reavailment, reversal, utilization, are these terminologies very clear in your head? ये टर्मिनोलॉजीज का जरूरत हमको पड़ेगा, डेफिनेटली पड़ेगा. कब पड़ेगा? जब हम लोग ये टर्मिनोलॉजीज को यूज करके इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट जब हम लोग ये टर्मिनोलॉजीज को यूज करके इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट के प्रोविजंस गो थ्रू करना चालू करेंगे. Reversal and reavailment are not very commonly used terminologies. They'll say that okay, that amount shall be added as output tax liability. मतलब ही क्या, तो आपको उतने ऊपर इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट के ऊपर का अपना हक गिव अवे कर देना पड़ेगा. So whenever it comes to that part, I'll tell you that okay, this is called as reversal. But accounting wise इसका impact क्यों समझो? Because this will give you a very fair idea that okay, actually value added tax में क्या होता है, value addition में क्या होता है. Now friends, I wanted you to again come back to those examples for a minute जो हम लोग थोड़ी देर पहले कंसिडर कर रहे थे. अब यहाँ पे देखो, फर्स्ट लेवल पे वैल्यू एडिशन कितना हुआ था? टोटल 1200 रुपए का. ये अपने फर्स्ट लेवल में वैल्यू एडिशन था 1200 रुपए का. So on 1200 rupees, if you calculate tax at the rate of 12%, so it comes to 144. So value added tax के ऊपर, value addition के ऊपर tax लगा, ये तो confirm हो गया. Second level पे, what is the value addition? Value addition will be the difference between my selling price and difference between my purchase price. So my value addition is only 269 rupees. 269 rupees पे 12% tax में अगर निकालूं तो कितना आता है? 32 rupees 28 पैसे. अभी मेरा आउटपुट टैक्स सेकेंड लेवल में कितना था? 176. व्हाट इज माय इनपुट टैक्स इन द सेकेंड लेवल? 144. सो इज इट 32 रुपीज? इज इट मैचिंग माय वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स? 269 का वैल्यू एडिशन, 269 के वैल्यू एडिशन पे 12% टैक्स अगर आप कंसिडर करते हो तो इट विल बी 32 रुपीज. द डिफरेंस बिटवीन योर आउटपुट टैक्स एंड इनपुट टैक्स, इज इट 32 रुपीज? यस. गवर्नमेंट डजंट गेट न्यू 176 rupees over here. गवर्नमेंट हैज ऑलरेडी रिसीव्ड 144 रुपीज एट द प्रीवियस स्टेज एंड अभी एडिशनल जो आप जेब से भरोगे दैट विल बी द नेट कैश लाइबिलिटी 176 आउटवर्ड टैक्स माइनस 144 इनपुट टैक्स डिफरेंशियल 32 रुपए आपने भरा। ऐसा करते करते फाइनली रिटेलर के जेब से भी 278 आउटपुट जीएसटी भले था बट रिटेलर को ऑलरेडी इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट मिला था 220 रुपीज का। सो हिज वैल्यू एडिशन विल बी 278 माइनस 220, सो दैट इज हाउ मच 58 rupees. That is 58 rupees. I mean, beg your pardon. His tax paid on value addition is only 58 rupees. तो अभी अगर मैं बोलूंगा that what is the end consumer price? End consumer price is 2594. But that is including GST. So end consumer price is 2316. 2316 पे 12% कितना आता है? Is it 278? It is 278. Has the government actually got 278 rupees? Let us check. तो पहले लेवल पे कितना मिला गवर्नमेंट को? यहाँ पे मिला 144 रुपीज। यहाँ पे आउटपुट टैक्स माइनस इनपुट टैक्स करो कितना मिलता है? सेकंड लेवल पे 32 रुपीज मिलता है। यहाँ पे भी आउटपुट टैक्स माइनस इनपुट टैक्स, so 220 minus 176, so that will be what 24 plus 20 मतलब 44 रुपीज हुआ इधर। एंड यहाँ पे कितना मिला? 278 minus 220 that is 58. Now let us check इसका टोटल कितना आता है? 144 plus 32 plus 44 plus 58. Is the government actually getting 278 rupees? Is it the tax what the consumer is also paying? So गवर्नमेंट का कोई नुकसान नहीं होता है इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट की वजह से, पर ग्राहक का तो डेफिनेटली फायदा होता है बिकॉज द क्यूमुलेटिव टैक्स वी टू गेट अक्यूमुलेटेड ऑन द प्रीवियस लेवल्स परचेसेस, वो टैक्स सेग्रीगेट हो रहा है। अभी इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट मिलने के वजह से यहाँ पे हम लोग यही देखने की कोशिश कर रहे थे दैट माय इनपुट टैक्सेस आर नॉट बिकमिंग अ पार्ट ऑफ माय परचेस कॉस्ट। मेरा परचेस अलग होता है, मेरा इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट अलग होता है। मेरा इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट मेरे परचेस का हिस्सा नहीं बनता है अनलेस आई एम नॉट एंटाइटल्ड फॉर क्लेमिंग इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट। सो द वेरी clarity I wanted to set in the very first lecture of this is that whenever I'm going to talk about input tax credit, the purpose is that input taxes should be eligible to be claimed for setting it off against the output taxes. But if you do not consider them separately as a separate asset item, but you're going to dump it in your cost, then there is going to be a problem. So this is why the accounting entries were written only to give you a very clear perspective of when we are going to study input tax credit. I will be very oftenly using the terms availment करना, utilization करना, reversal करना, re-availment करना, and at all that times मैं चाहता हूँ आपको कि आप ये वाला point पहला ध्यान में रखिए। Basis that only you will be in a very comfortable position in understanding the input tax credit. Fair enough. And यहाँ पे मैंने जैसे आपको दिखाया कि value added tax का भी मकसद हासिल होता है। Now the only case, सर प्रैक्टिकली ऐसा कितने बार होगा कि आउटपुट रेट और इनपुट रेट सेम ही है? ऐसा कम बार होता है। सो ये जो वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स अभी कैसा बराबर डिफरेंशियल वैल्यू एडिशन पे 12% लिखा है तो ये इतना ही अमाउंट आ रहा है, ये बहुत आइडियलिस्टिक सिनेरियो है फॉर अ एग्जांपल इलस्ट्रेशन। शायद ऐसा हो सकता है कि वो रेट टू रेट मैच नहीं हो बिकॉज इनपुट का रेट 12% है आउटपुट का 18 है, या वाइस वर्सा है, इनपुट का 5% है आउटपुट का 12% है, कुछ भी हो सकता है। So we are more interested in the concept that okay, tax at each stage will be levied only on the value addition. वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स इसीलिए उसको कहा जाता है, ये उसका मॉडिफाइड वर्जन जब जीएसटी में हम लोग इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट पढ़ रहे हैं, दैट इज सेम बेस्ड ऑन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स। सो फ्रेंड्स, दिस इज आवर फंडामेंटल डिस्कशन ऑन इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट। Now we'll be beginning our discussion with the provisions of section 16 of the CGST Act. But in the next part, so till then I'm signing off for the while. Thank you so much. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye. Jai Hind. Take care.